first want to talk about up in the top left
Maureen,
corner. Yes.
real quick, I had a really great question. I thought it would be a great time to bring it up.
Sure.
Allison asked the question of basically how is it that the scans were not affected with all of the reflective surfaces found at the scene? And I figured I answered her directly, but I thought maybe it would be a great question for you to answer for the group.
Yeah, and actually, Brenda, if you don't mind, since you actually scanned it, what exactly was your protocol on this one to prevent that, if she's still here?
I am. So I actually have to be honest and say I can't remember. It was way back in 2015. But when we were confronted with situations like those mirrors, we used a spray that we made at the time. But you can also use foot powder spray or dry shampoo spray and just mist the mirrors. Don't coat them. You just mist them just barely enough to break up the reflection, but not so that it looks like it's a coating. But if you're going to do that, make sure you have all of your DNA evidence collected prior to doing that, or latent prints or anything like that. But that's typically what we did. We would never cover them with craft paper. But there are times that I would just scan with it and just go with it and clean it up later. But more often than not, we would coat them.
Thank you. Yeah, another thing to be said about the foot powder spray or the dry shampoo, because they're about the same consistency, just don't spray it next to your scanner. Don't cover your mirror on your scanner with either of those. We don't want you to have to clean it off, and don't want to have, some issues with scanning and measurements because you coated it with some spray there. So just things to keep in mind. But yes, that is probably our biggest go-to. I know I use the foot powder spray just because these days it's cheaper than dry shampoo spray. But yeah, just a light coating, it will decrease the reflectance value of that surface, and it will be able to obtain points on that surface more easily. Anything else? That was a good question though.